Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection video. Depending on when you're watching this and when I upload this to YouTube, recently I did a video, a new special video about Oktoberfest. Take a look for that. I'll try to tag it at the end of this video if you want to click and watch it. I went a little bit of the history about Oktoberfest in general. I did a beer dissection of the original Hofbrauhaus Oktoberfest beer. And I also had done a video back about a year ago about Oktoberfest. So if you want to look under the playlist, if you like those types of things and you are a little bit of a beer geek and you like to read a little bit more about, learn a little more about the history, look under my What Is Styles, beer dissection, maybe even my general beer talks when I talk about Oktoberfest. But I will try to tag it as the video ends. One of the things will pop up probably on the screen about the most recent Oktoberfest video that I did. All right, so what I have today is from Sierra Nevada. Every year they seem to come out with an Oktoberfest beer. They actually call it Oktoberfest the Festbier style. And in that video that I just referenced, I talk about Märzen, and I also talk about Festbier, the differences between the two, and even speak about Munich Dunkel, which was probably one of the earliest the earlier Oktoberfest beer that they were drinking during Oktoberfest. So I'm not going to go down too much of a wormhole tangent about speaking specifically about that, but I wanted to be able to get this beer because now I'm filming this at the tail end of August, and roughly a month, a little less than a month, Oktoberfest is going to start, but beers are starting to roll out. Sam Adams has theirs, I'm sure, coming out momentarily. Their style is more of a Märzen style. This one, the Oktoberfest Festbier, if you watched my video, should be the lighter version of the Oktoberfest style and the one that's drank more often at Oktoberfest. So again, more on that video if you wanted to take a look at it when I tag it at the end, or if you want to look it up in my playlist. This one's coming in at 6% alcohol. It even has a nice, if this was blue and white, it would be kind of the flag of Bavaria, which is kind of interesting, especially outside of Munich. So this is, again, Sierra Nevada should not be unfamiliar. I reviewed a lot of their beers, but I haven't had this one. I don't think I had it last year. And but I do have some memories of it. I know I've had it in the past. Remember, Sierra Nevada is in Chico, California, I think originally. They all do have a brewery, I think in Mills River, North Carolina. Yes, it is on there. Okay, I thought it was. I thought I saw the Chico, California one first. I thought maybe they left it off. And again, 6% alcohol. The style, remember, is somewhere between 5.8 and 6.3 or 5.6 and 6.2, depending if it's the Märzen style or the Festbier style. So again, watch that video if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the Märzen style. It's not Märzen. Okay, I say that in that video, as well as the difference between that and the Festbier style and why they changed that type of style back around 1990. So enough about that. Let's review this beer and see what we're dealing with. So that's it. Let's crack this bad boy open. Just dealing with typical shaker pint. You don't see me use shaker pints a lot on my channel, but it is college football season. My alma mater plays next week against Penn State, so you're going to see these probably glasses a lot more when I'm filming in football season. So let's pour this out and take a look at it. Okay, so my wife had just picked these up recently, so they're a little shaken up a little bit. So there's going to be, even though I pour things more aggressively and I get a lot more head, this one, as I'm pouring, I just see that there's a tremendous amount of head here. So I'm going to give it a second just to kind of calm down, and might as well maybe take a little bit of a look at it right now. So I got several inches of kind of that white, light tan head, which you would expect. Kind of looking at the color of the beer, the typical kind of, light gold to maybe even like a darker straw kind of color, perfectly clear. It should be for this style of beer. And again, you can see it is more of that gold color. The Märzen style from Sam Adams, you'll notice, looks a little bit more amber to copper color. All right, and again, they're probably using a little more crystal malt. This one, remember, they wanted to consume something that wasn't as heavy. So they produced the Festbier style around, again, somewhere around 1990 or so. Or it actually became more popular around 1990. And it's still, they still drink Festbier and Oktoberfest beer all year round at different festivals in Germany. And remember, be designed, or I should say, be delineated a Oktoberfest beer. Remember, you have to be part of those 6 breweries outside of Munich, at least in Germany, not here in the United States, obviously. All right, so we have that nice kind of gold clear beer. I let the head settle down a little bit while we were waiting. But maybe get some lacing, very nice. There's a little frothing on the top of the beer, which is I always like to see. And protein structures with the beer, but that typical light gold. But you can see if I did this side by side, and maybe if I do happen to get the Sam Adams, I will do a beer face-off video. But they are completely 2 different styles of beer. Okay, the Märzen's, again, is going to give you a little bit more of even like a slight caramel on the beer. It's going to be a little darker. The Festbier is they should be drinking kind of like a little bit of showcase of some Pilsner malt, maybe light, floral, spicy, herbal hop character from German noble hops. But anyway, let's take a sniff of the aroma here. And exactly that's what I'm getting there on the nose. You kind of get like a light, maybe on the malt, you kind of get just very light biscuit, bready. At the very most, there's probably like a little bit of a light toast character to it, but not as deep and rich as the Märzen style. There is some herbal component to the hops, I'm sure. I don't know if Sierra Nevada uses German noble hops, but typically you're going to get a little bit of that. It shouldn't be overpowering like you're smelling a German Pilsner. Very light. You get that kind of, again, that biscuit, light toast aroma, slight herbal, floral, hop aroma also. It's very nice though. If I had my eyes closed, you knew you're kind of in Germany with the type of hops that are being used here. But again, it's not as pungent as some German Pilsners. So anyway, guys, cheers. Let's take a swig of this. Same thing. Let's start with the hops. Herbal, floral. Very light though. Definitely more than the Hofbrauhaus Oktoberfest beer that I reviewed in that Oktoberfest video. I almost get like let's make sure my mind or my taste buds weren't playing tricks on me. A little bit stronger on that floral perfumey character with this versus, I just did this video like not even a week ago with the Hofbrauhaus Oktoberfest beer, which is one of the originals, right? It's one of the 6 breweries outside of Munich. So this one is a little bit more, when you want to say pungent on the floral bouquet aroma, herbal character of the hops. And the malt, again, biscuit, light brioche kind of malt. Definitely not as like caramel character that you would see sometimes in Märzen style beers. But nice malt backbone here, huh? Bitterness, a little rusty in my numbers. I want to say it's 16 to 26 or 18 to 26 IBUs for the style per the BJCP. But again, don't mark my words. I'm a little rusty on some of the numbers. The bitterness is kind of, I would say, low to moderate at best. No alcoholic warmth, which you wouldn't expect at 6%. But again, I'm getting a little bit more, even on the aftertaste. I get a little bit more a residual floral herbal component to this than I would have if it was one of the original Oktoberfest. So this actually has more flavor than those beers, but that's not necessarily always a good thing, right? I like to, if you're going to do a Oktoberfest beer, to try to mimic those Munich 6 Oktoberfest beer styles, where they're, again, Spot and Hofbrauhaus, Hocker Shore, Augustiner, and Polaner. Okay, if I got to 6. I'm going to kill myself. Spaten, Hofbrauhaus, Hocker Shore, Lowenbrau I missed, Augustiner, Polaner. Okay, so it's very good, guys. I'm enjoying this more than the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, but if you do prefer the Märzen style, drink that. And again, in that other video I mentioned, which again, I promise you I'll try to make sure I remember to put it at the end. If you do like to watch these things, I talk about why it was Märzen in March and brewed that way. It's roughly it's a little bit longer video than my typical beer dissection videos. No astringency, like I said, no warmth. You get that herbal, slightly floral component on the aftertaste. And again, I'm still getting kind of that biscuity, light toast malt flavor also. So anyway, guys, pretty good beer. I mean, today, again, remember, it's Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest beer style. Grade-wise, I mean, overall drinkability, I'm enjoying it. I do prefer the Festbier style over the Märzen. I'll give it a good B+. Maybe I'll even bump it up to A-. I mean, comparing it to the German 6, right, that I mentioned before, I got to bring it down. I would have to bring it down to probably like a B-, C+. Those just, I think, highlight the malt a little bit better. They drink a little like sweeter. I don't mean sweet like cloyingly sweet. It's just a little bit more crisper. I think they're a little more attenuated. This one, which I didn't mention that too much, the body on this is kind of more medium, slightly above medium-bodied beer. I just feel the original German ones drink a little more attenuated, a little crisper. And if you were going to be drinking at Oktoberfest and drinking with one of your big Mosskrug mugs, you could probably consume a little bit more. But even though I would bring it down compared to the German 6, compared to a lot of other fest beers that I've had from local breweries and things like that, I got to keep it still in that B+ range because it is drinking kind of nice. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this can. Fare-wise, nice pork dishes. Keep it German. Wurst, bratwurst, schnitzels, obviously would be ideal. Even if you wanted to go with Käsespätzle, which is their version of mac and cheese over in Germany, which was phenomenal when I was there. Very good. So again, very solid domestic style, guys. It's not going to put your imports out of business coming over here. But I think a very solid one. I like it again. It is a little apples to oranges comparing it to Sam Adams because that's more of that Märzen style, but very nice. I would recommend it. Pick up a 12-pack of this for your Oktoberfest beers if you're not going to just go German or get a keg of beer. So anyway, guys, today's beer dissection, Oktoberfest, their Festbier, okay, not the Märzen style. Check out my video that I'll have it tagged here or go search under the playlists. I did Oktoberfest here in 23 and I did an Oktoberfest video at the end of 22. A little longer, go into a little more history if you are a little bit of a beer geek. So anyway, guys, till the next beer dissection video, I would highly recommend this. It's drinking pretty nicely. And that's it. All right, so till next one, I'll just say, I should have said Prost and Prosit for Oktoberfest, which is probably about 3-4 weeks away from me right now. Until the next video, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.